Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Friday. Again, where are we now? Middle of November? Coming up for the middle of November. If you are there, do pop hello in the comments and I will say hello to you. You will have to excuse my voice this morning. I have a cold and a sore throat. So we'll see how we go. I might end up holding cards with words on before the end of the talk. Still, I've only got 3 talks to do this weekend, so it'll be interesting. Good morning, Emma. Good morning, Susie. Good morning, Sylvie. Good morning, Abby. Good morning, Melanie. Good morning, Lani. Good morning, Jay in sunny Cornwall. Yeah, we've got grey and overcast here in Hampshire today. I have got a halo. It does look like I've got a halo. Obviously, I've got a halo. What are you talking about? Good morning, Sue. Good morning, Christine. Good morning, Catherine. Good morning, Jessie. I'm feeling fine, Jessie. Thank you. I'm just going to lose my voice, I think. Good morning, Tess. Thank you, Emma. Good morning, Rachel. Good morning, Mandy. Good morning, Kerry. Good morning, Kay. Good morning, Melody. Wow, lots of lovely people here this morning. Thank you so much. You are all superstars. But yes, back to Friday again. Good morning, Sarah. Eva's finishing your run. Oh, Eva, you are so energetic. You make me feel tired just thinking about it. Good morning, Maria. Eric is actually here. I don't know if you can see. Look. Under the pile of blankets, Eric's fast asleep, and I don't blame him, actually. Good morning, Crystal. Good morning, Sylvie. Sue, I'm fine. I'm feeling fine. I'm a bit weary, but I'm okay, thank you. I'm just fingers crossed my voice will hold out. I should never get a chalkboard and write things up on it. Good morning, Debbie. You finally found me. I'm always here, Debbie. Honestly, I haven't been hiding. Welcome to another week, another Friday. Maria, what's on your t-shirt? Okay, we've got Vesson on my t-shirt. We have gingerbread Vesson on my t-shirt from the TV series Grimm. If you haven't watched Grimm, why not, would be my question. It is one of the most excellent TV series ever, but some clever person has turned the Vesson into gingerbread. So I've got a Reaper and a Grimm. I've got a Blue Bottom. What else have we got? A Hexen Beast, Bauerschwein, Lowen, Fuchsbau. Lots of Vesson, all as gingerbread. But yes, it is from the Grimm TV show. So if you haven't seen it, you do need to watch it. It is fantastic. Definitely some excellent television. It is a great t-shirt, Emma. Thank you. It is Maria. I need this in my life. You'll have to talk to Emma or Pete, Maria, because it was a gift, so I don't know where it came from. Debbie loves Grimm too. Yeah, along with Fringe. Oh, I haven't watched Fringe. Good morning, Diane. Yeah, Grimm, my top TV show, along with Stargate Atlantis. Those 2 TV shows I could watch on loop quite happily. Good morning, Vicky. Yeah, definitely Grimm, but gotta see it. So this morning, I thought I would talk about something from one of my books. Oh, the light is mad. Oh, you can't see it at all. Curative Magic. Down. Below the light. Below the screen. My husband's giving me directions. Curative Magic. The light is dreadful in it. Do you know, I think it's because the days are darker now and we've got the light on. We'll have to sort out the lighting. But it's from Curative Magic, the book that I wrote that was published by Llewellyn earlier this year. It is natural magic for healing the heart, spirit, and soul, basically. Nice big old books. You can use it as a doorstop if you need to. It deals with a lot of emotional issues: guilt, worry, grief, low self-esteem, obstacles and blockages, sleep issues, menses and menopause, transitions and changes, anxiety, stress, depression, panic attacks, and fear. And it deals with all of them in a magical way. So I offer solutions or hopefully solutions and ideas to help you, but all from a magical point of view. And I will be absolutely honest, I have dealt with every single one of these issues personally. I would not have written about them if I hadn't experienced them. So unfortunately, I have dealt with all of them and still deal with some of them on occasion. But the book covers magical help and support and ideas. So that's where today's talk is going to come from. Sue loved Grimm, haven't finished it. Finish it. Maria, yes, sadly, but it's one of those I can't stop watching. Yeah, I could watch Grimm on a loop. Sylvie says Amazon has the shirt. Well, there you go, brilliant. Crystal says Boot Monroe is my favourite. Crystal, he's my favourite too. I have quite strange taste in men. Monroe is my favourite too. Sylvie enjoys Adeline's evolution. Yes. Wouldn't you just love to be a Hexam beast? And Crystal really likes Trouble. Yeah, she's good too. Susie says it talks about shadow work, but I'm a bit scared of that. Is it something to be scared of? Yes and no. Shadow work is essential. Shadow work is brilliant to discover more about yourself, to learn more about your character and your personality, and to help you grow as a person. However, I do recommend doing it with some support because it can be quite emotional. If you, as a student of the Kitchen Witch School, we do teach it in one of the later levels, and we provide, as always, full support. But if anybody wants to work with my book and you struggle with any of it, or you need a bit of, or you've got questions, or you need a bit of support, I'm here. All you have to do is message me. I'll be happy to help you with it. Sue says we all have strange taste in men, but we love them anyway. Just looking at my husband sitting beside me. We have been together 28 years, so it must be all good. Eva desperately need that book. Thank you, my lovely. Oh, Melanie's put it in her Amazon basket. Thank you. Sue has shadow walked. Is it the same thing? Your shadow is the side of you that you perhaps don't like so much. It is your personalities and your characteristics that you perhaps recognize as not so good parts. So if I'm an organized control freak. So the organizing bit's quite useful, but the control thing is something that it's taken me years to learn to release to a certain degree. That's part of my shadow. Part of my shadow was also learning that people don't always act or react in the way that you want them to or expect them to. So for me, that was shadow work, to learn that it's okay, that everyone has their own choice, their own way of working, and it's not up to me to judge that or decide that. So that's all part of learning how you deal with things and how you act and react with things. That's your shadow side. And you'll quite often find that you dislike someone because they're projecting parts of the shadow that you associate with. So shadow work is about learning how to deal with that side of yourself. I'm not saying get rid of it completely, because those characteristics make you the person that you are, but your shadow work will help you learn to deal with them and to decide whether you want to change them or adapt them or just embrace them. That's your choice. But shadow working is delving into your psyche, basically. Good morning, Teresa. Good morning, Kay. Yes, I hope everyone is well. I'm hoping my voice will last. Jessie's just bought the book. Thank you. Thank you. Kay heard that other people's negative can be a mirror of yours. It is quite often, not always, but quite often, if you see something that you dislike in a person, it does pay to sort of stop and think why you don't like that in a person, because it might be that it's a reflection of something that you yourself do. Maria says, I need to gargle with sage. Yeah, I can't stand the taste of sage in tea, but I have got lemon tea, so. Right. I'm feeling fine. It's just my voice is a bit iffy. We'll get through it. We'll get there. So, I thought about anxiety, but then I realised that when I did the Curative Magic book launch, I talked about anxiety from the book. So if it's anxiety that you want to have a tackle with magic, have a look on my YouTube channel, because the recording of the Curative Magic book launch is on there, and that deals with anxiety from the book. So today I thought I'd deal with self-esteem, which you might think, with me sitting here in front of the camera talking to all you lovely people, and as someone who is out there and stands on a stage and talks to hundreds of people, that I never have any problems with self-esteem. Trust me, I do on a regular basis. Your self-esteem is a combination of lots of things. It's a confidence in your abilities. It's what you think you're worth as a human being. It's the faith and respect that you have for yourself. If your self-esteem is low or has disappeared altogether, and that can happen, it can leave you feeling unconfident and unloved. You may feel bad about how you act, how you react, how you look. You might ask yourself, am I attractive? Does my bum look big in this? I know we laugh at that comment, but we all do it. Low self-esteem also leads to blame, to guilt, and the desire to withdraw into yourself and away from everything. We all have moments of self-doubt. We all do it. We all question whether we're good enough for things. But it can be debilitating to keep questioning whether we're worthy or not. Trust me, you all are. Every single one of you is worthy just as you are. But we all do it. We all put that self-doubt in. We all put restrictions on ourselves. So the idea is to turn things around. Self-esteem is just a state of mind. And I know saying it, let's just turn it around, sounds like very easy, but it's not. And I absolutely understand that it's not. Been there, done it, got the t-shirt. But it is about changing how you think. And using magic. Let's face it, as witches, we have a special toolkit available to us that a lot of other people don't have. And we can work with magic to help ourselves out. So we are lucky in that we have that extra kind of ability that we can use magic to change our state of mind. So it's all about looking at what wonderful human beings we are and about celebrating that. Kay's just bought the Kitchen Witch Grimoire and the Kalak. Bless you. Apologise for the spelling. Kalak, you have to think about when you spell it. I'd say it out phonetically in my head when I spell it. Good morning, Lexi. Tess has that mark. Lisa, yes, I think it is a Lisa Parker design. Maria says all the waffling. Yes, I have waffling throat. There is a link to my YouTube channel. Come up in the comments. Thank you. Lani says lemon balm tea is amazing. Yes, definitely. Sue says, at least you look good. I have a great lump of a cold sore. Oh, I hate cold sores, Sue. I do suffer with them myself. It means you're run down and you're not looking after yourself properly. So some self-care, please. it's very kind of you to say I look good, and this is part of the self-esteem. So I have menopausal skin. I am dealing with the perimenopause at the moment, have been doing for several years. Cover that in the book too. But every so often my face explodes into teenage acne, and it did that this morning. So I have quite a lot of makeup on today to cover the fact that my face looks like a pizza. So that's one of my ways of dealing with my self-esteem, is to put makeup on. It is my war paint. It is my protective barrier against the world. Kay says, as an aromatherapist, the book Curative Magic attracts you. There are essential oil suggestions in there for each of the issues, but I'm sure you know that. Maria, yes, for cold sores I use the Virax, I must admit. Kay says, self-esteem, simply put, for me, is being comfortable in my own skin. Absolutely. And I am far more comfortable in my own skin these days than I ever was when I was younger. I don't worry so much perhaps about what other people think, and I think that's quite key. Self-esteem is a lot of your own self-restrictions, set yourself in, just you do it to yourself. But words hurt, and other people making comments can really knock our self-esteem and our self-confidence. Good morning, Jackie. Yes, happy Friday 13th. Good day for witches, people, Friday 13th. Kay says our uniqueness is to be celebrated, and that's hard to do for many people. Absolutely. Melody's just ordered the book. Oh, bless you. Good morning, Maria. You do not have to apologise for being late. I'm not going to make you stand in the corner, I promise. Okay, tea tree on the toothbrush every morning can help not getting throat problems as well as dental care. Yes, I am very, very unsure about essential oils being ingested, but that's just me. But tea tree is very good because it's antiseptic, isn't it? Oh, Charlotte's full of cold and a mouthful of ulcers. Oh, Charlotte, yes, some self-care, please. I think this is key to a lot of this. And I know my husband's glaring at me now. I will be perfectly honest. As I say with the book, I have experienced all of the issues. And Tuesday, Wednesday this week, I had a complete meltdown. I got myself into such a panic and a complete tears over stuff, with work to do and deadlines and everything all happening at once. It wasn't really. I just got it in my head that there was too much to do, and I allowed myself to be completely overwhelmed because I've been working too much. And it happens to me every so often that the universe every so often says, you're doing too much, you haven't done any self-care, I'm going to bop you on the head and lay you out. Which is actually what I did on Tuesday, Wednesday this week, which is probably why I'm now full of cold and sore throat, because I have run myself down. My husband, bless him, stepped in. He's glaring at me and made me take the afternoon off and put me on the sofa with a hot water bottle and a blanket and Christmas films. So I think a big part of it is self-care. We run ourselves down, we take on too much, we get overwhelmed, and the universe says, bam, that's it. So it happens to us all, even those of us that should know better. So Melanie, put my makeup on and feel better. Yeah, I think for those, a lot of people don't wear makeup, but if you do, it is a bit of a barrier. It is a bit of a mask, if you like. It's putting your face on for the world. And if it makes you feel better, go for it. Susie says, I just don't get the concept of self-esteem, as I've never experienced it. I feel bad a lot of the time and always feel guilty about everything I do, pretty much. I think guilt is another issue. That's completely another issue. And I'm very good at holding on to guilt. But if you feel bad about everything you do, pretty much, that is your self-esteem. But we can rebuild it. We can do it. We can do it together. Jackie, that explains why my face has been erupting. I never realized it was part of perimenopause. I never thankfully didn't struggle with acne as a teenager, but ever since I hit the perimenopause, my face every so often explodes, and it's actually quite painful. Yes, it is a big part of the perimenopause, and it's a blooming nightmare. Christine, wait till you get to 60s, you don't give a monkey's. You go, Christine. Yeah, absolutely. Yes, Christine says tea tree can be toxic to dogs. Please be very, very careful with essential oils. I know some of the companies promote ingesting essential oils. I am not of that camp, but you have to do your own research on that. I don't believe they should be ingested. Be very, very careful when putting essential oils direct on your skin. And I have got a little bit of spell work in a minute that deals with essential oil. If you're going to put it on your skin, dilute it first, please, with a carrier oil. Even if it's just olive oil or sunflower oil, that's absolutely fine, but dilute it before you put it on your skin. Please also be very careful with essential oils around pets, because they can be quite toxic. Even if you just put them in oil burners, it can be very toxic for your pets. Lecture over. Sue agrees with Christine. Gave up worrying about other people as I got older. I do think that is something that happens. You do tend to not worry so much about that as you get older. Not worry about, experience maybe. Lexi says media is to blame for a lot. Media treats women horribly, like commodities. Yeah, I think there is this big thing, isn't there, about being slim, or about being this, or about being that, or dressing like this, or dressing like that. Yeah, an awful lot of pressure, particularly on the younger girls and boys, to look a particular way or to act a particular way. I don't think it's necessarily modern. I'm a teenager of the 80s, and you had to be fashionable to fit in, really. I'm still a teenager of the 80s in my head and in my dress. Let's be honest, I still wear leg warmers and rara skirts, but it is a state of mind, and I think it is about changing your way of thinking so that people accept you for who you are, or you don't worry about it. Diane says, well done, Pete. Yes, he does look after me, Diane. I'm very lucky. Kay says the doctors don't always realise that women are in perimenopause. Yeah, I struggled for a long time thinking that the menopause was very natural and I had to just live with it. You absolutely do not. You do not have to live with it at all. Find a doctor that understands. And I know it sounds very, very, I don't know what the word is. My brain's not working properly. I asked for a woman doctor, and I also asked to see a woman doctor of a certain age. I wanted someone that specialised or understood the menopause. Once I'd found that doctor, she was absolutely brilliant because she'd been through it herself and she understood it. There is help available. You do not have to go through it alone. There are also lots of herbal supplements, but I would recommend seeking advice from a qualified herbalist. But there are some really good herbal ones that will help you deal with things. But we can deal with menopause another day, because there's in the book as well. Vanessa says, which book are you referring to? Curative Magic, my lovely Curative Magic book. So I'm going to be dealing with self-esteem from that today. Lani says Pete's amazing. He absolutely is, Lani. He is. My mum says every home should have a Pete. Although you'd have to have a home big enough for his drum kit as well. Sue says, I keep telling my hubby I need sympathy, but can't grasp the concept. Do you know, I'm not sure it's about sympathy either. I think it's about communication. Communication is a real big key, particularly when I was really struggling with the menopause. Communication was key because a husband doesn't understand anything about it. Your children don't understand anything about it. So it's about explaining to them. I mean, I got to the stage where I was getting up in the morning and saying, look, I'm having a really bad day. It's not anything to do with you guys, but I'm really disconnected today. It's all about the menopause. So I think it's about communication and explanation as well. Right. So I'm getting through. I haven't even started on self-esteem yet. I knew this was going to happen today. Jackie says she went to the doctors for a test, but he said there's no sign yet. Yeah, I think the perimenopause starts a long time before it's actually able to test for it. So don't trust the test. Trust your body, and know that your body is telling you things. So do work with it, and I'll get to understand it, research it, know that it is your body telling you. Yes, Kay says about the oils, if in doubt, dilute, dilute, dilute. Yeah, not for the young, not for the old. Don't do it. I know some people are struggling with spots. Yes, Christine says some masks are causing people to come out in horrible spots. They are, but they need to be worn. End of story. So, we've got to protect each other. So unfortunately, yes, masks need to be worn. Sylvie says, I decided some time ago that who doesn't like me, I should just pass on their way, as long as I'm good with myself. Yes, and it is easier said than done some days, but yes, that's absolutely but that, I think, comes with experience and age as well. Yeah, definitely. Christine was blessed and had none of the problems with menopause. I just thought, oh, well, let it be. No worrying about pregnancy. Yeah, the menopause, I'm waiting for that still, but I've been 6, nearly 7 years now in the perimenopause phase, and that's the killer. I would absolutely love to be over the hump and in the menopause, but it's the perimenopause that's the killer. But thankfully, not everyone goes through it. But anyway, see, I am waffling all off today. I'll put it down to the cold and flu meds, shall I? No, because it happens all the time. Tess, could I do a talk solely about the perimenopause and the menopause? Yes, Tess, absolutely. That is in my schedule to do for January. I will do a whole session on the menopause, and I'm also thinking it might work better as a Zoom because people might feel a bit better talking about it, but I don't know. Yes, I will do it in January. Definitely, Tess, that's on the list. Yeah. Vanessa started to change when she was 46 and 56 this year and still going. Yeah, I turned 52 last week, so that's 6 years now. So yeah, pants basically. Hugs and healing thoughts to everyone, Christine. Absolutely. Diane wimped out in the end and chose HRT. It's not wimping out, Diane. Absolutely not wimping out. The HRT, the doctor talked about it with me, but because I didn't struggle with the night sweats or this lack of sleep, it was no good to me. It was actually the hormone side of it that I struggle mostly with, and the HRT didn't cover the symptoms that I was dealing with. But the doctors will absolutely recommend stuff for you, and it is not wimping out at all. It's absolutely your right, our right, to ask for help and support with the scenario. So, yeah, Kay went through the same scenario and finally admitted it was the menopause. Yeah, you have to trust your body. Trust your body. Teresa, I think a big part of self-esteem is really knowing yourself. As we grow up, we get labels placed on us, and we need to challenge these labels and find out who we really are. Reference the menopause, currently looking forward to mine as I suffer with PM. Yes, once you've been through the menopause, obviously you won't get all of the premenstrual stuff, but the perimenopause is tough sometimes. There are lots of options. There are lots of options with HRT and other things. HRT wasn't right for me, but the doctor did sort me out. So I am on the upside now. So just don't ignore it. Go and get some help. There's lots of help out there. Right, back to self-esteem. Oh, we are so going to run out of time today. Okay, so the book deals with all sorts of options for each issue. Affirmations, working with colour magic, different herbs, different foods, herbal teas, incenses and oils. There's a little daily exercise to deal with each. And I don't mean like star jumps or jogging. I mean spiritual exercises. Crystals, meditations. There's a spell for each one, a ritual for each one, and a suggestion for a magic bundle, which I will go through in a second. So affirmations they do sound a little bit fluffy and new agey, but they actually work because words have power. You think about the negative words that people throw out, and they have an effect. So if you can think about the way that you talk about yourself, we all do it. Oh, I can't wear this. I look awful in it. Oh, look at my hair. I'm having a bad hair day. It's just dreadful. Very, very negative words that could quite easily be stopped or changed. Or wake up every morning and say some affirmations to yourself. I'm fabulous. It is a way about thinking of yourself. And if you don't want to do the fluffy, I am beautiful, I have a shining aura, tell yourself each morning that you have courage and that you're an absolute kick-ass warrior. You have to make the affirmations work for you. And again, the spell work we're going to do in a minute will teach you how to write affirmations for yourself. Vanessa says, HRT is not wimping out, it's a way to manage. Absolutely. Do not think of it as wimping out. Asking for help and support means that you are a strong person and you have accepted that you need some help. Difficult to do, but go and do it. Kay is suggesting red clover tea and raspberry leaf tea. Good suggestions, but please, please talk to a qualified herbalist before you take any kind of herbal remedies, because a lot of them are powerful, which is a good thing, but a lot of them can also argue and interfere with any of the counter medications you might be taking or any underlying health issues that you have. So please, please do seek advice from a qualified herbalist. Teresa, I think our hormones have a big impact on self-esteem. Absolutely. Definitely. And different times of the month, if you're still having periods, that will have an effect on your hormones. If you are perimenopausal, wow, does it send your hormones upside down and inside out? Absolutely. Definitely. So there's different herbs for self-esteem as well. I'm suggesting these for magical use, not consumption. Agrimony, Alexander's, Betony, Carnation, Celandine, Columbine, which is Aquilegia, Cyclamen, Hyacinth, Hypericum, Rose, Sweet Pea, and Yarrow. All really, really good for working magic to boost your self-esteem. You can also work with colour magic, and it would be what works for you, really. If you saw self-esteem as a colour, what colour would you see it? And it's going to vary from person to person. If I want to release that negativity, I would work with black. White is a really good colour because it's neutral. But if I think of self-esteem as a colour, it would be something really loud and proud, perhaps sunflower yellow or a sassy bright pink. I think it needs to shout confidence, it needs to shout self-love, and it needs to shout courage. But if you feel more confident in black, then go for it. Colour magic has to be very, very personal. Jackie says, where do you get the herbs from for magical spells? Generally from my garden, if I can, or from foraging, or from the supermarket. Or from farmers markets. You can buy them online. There's lots and lots of places that sell magical herbs, but bear in mind you don't have to buy them from magical sources, particularly things like rose petals. You can just collect them from your garden or a friend's garden. Lots of magical shops store them. Watch the prices, because some of them will charge lots more money just because it's a magical ingredient, when really you could just buy it from the supermarket. Not all of them, obviously. There are some really good places. But yes, do look around, but you can get them wherever you can find them. I've missed a comment there. Let's zip up. Lizzie says, homeopathy is a safe way to support your system during transition. Absolutely, Lizzie. But again, please seek out a qualified person to sort you through it, because they need to take into all of your medical history and your personal history. But absolutely, lots and lots of herbal and homeopathic and holistic therapies can help you through it, but make sure you do deal with someone that's qualified. Maria, I have pretty low confidence, which I suppose couples with self-esteem. Absolutely. I think they're very, very similar things. Sylvie likes red. Yes, red for boosting your self-esteem. Absolutely. Maria says herbs from your kitchen cupboards. Absolutely. Debbie's on wayfaring. Have to be careful. Yes, if you are on medication, you really do have to be careful what herbal remedies you take. So please do. There will be some that you can take, I'm sure, but you need to check with a qualified herbalist. Eva, I put on my neon rainbow leopard print underwear. Oh, fantastic. Oh, I think everybody needs neon rainbow leopard print underwear. Well, that's going to pick you up. Absolutely. Love it. Love it. Debbie has body affirmation cards. Brilliant. Love your curbs. Yes. Absolutely. Love your curbs and all parts of your body. Yes, Lizzie's been seeing a homeopath for 5 years and has definitely helped her through health issues. Absolutely. Absolutely. So different foods can help your self-esteem as well. Don't forget the foods. Just because they're not necessarily herbs, foods are really good as well. They can be used magically, but they can also be eaten. So basil, black pepper, good old cup of black tea, chocolate, obviously, cinnamon, cloves, coriander, fennel, ginger, lavender, lemon balm, marjoram, rhubarb, rosemary and thyme. All absolutely brilliant for using magically to boost your self-esteem, or they can be eaten in recipes or teas. Make a big old fruit cake, be fabulous. There are recipes in the Curative Magic book, obviously, because it's mine. But try working with herbal tea blends. If particularly with self-esteem, black tea is a really good base to start with, your normal tea bag, but switch it up a bit. So add a pinch of cinnamon and a couple of cloves to your black tea bag, or start with your black tea bag and add a teaspoon of dried lemon balm. Start with your black tea bag and add a slice of root ginger. Absolutely brilliant. Or cocoa nibs can be added to your normal tea bag. Fantastic. Experiment with herbal teas and mix it up and see what works for you. Maria says cake. Yes, cake is always good for everything. Sylvie had a wonderful apple cinnamon tea this morning. My phone voice just activated. I'm not talking to you, phone. Apple cinnamon tea sounds lovely. Teresa has a power confidence perfume. If I need to go do something and I'm going to struggle with a bit, I spray it on and it automatically makes her feel kick-ass. Yes, absolutely. I am going to come to that. I am dreadfully running out of time. Emma likes spiced hot chocolate. Yum. And red lipstick. Yes, lipstick. Coloured lipstick is a really good one for boosting your self-esteem, as long as you're used to wearing makeup. If you're not used to wearing makeup, you might feel a bit of a woolly putting it on, but you've got to go with it. Go with what works for you. But there are lots of incense and oil blends for self-esteem, and they can be used in spells or rituals, but also in body care, in anointing, in cleansing, and making into perfumes. There's the whole list of herbs and foods that I've just mentioned can all be made into essential oil balms and perfumes and things. There is a little daily routine that I want to share with you. Now, if you work with a daily beauty routine, and by that I just mean moisturizer, just your usual pot of moisturizer, whether you use something fancy or whether you just use Vaseline or cocoa butter or whatever it is, you can make that part of your self-esteem routine, morning and evening, and add in some affirmations as you do so. As you look in the mirror and put your moisturizer on, basically tell yourself good things. Tell yourself that as you're working with the moisturizer and massaging it into your skin, that you're fantastic, that you're fabulous, that your skin is soft, that your face is beautiful, that your body is fantastic, that you are the most wonderful person inside and out. Tell yourself that you love yourself. And that's twice a day, just as you're doing your moisturizing. So it becomes a bit of a routine, but it also ties it in with a bit of self-care, because you are feeding your skin, and you're not only feeding your skin with nutrients to make your skin better, you're also feeding your soul and your spirit with positive words. Easy thing to do on a regular basis. There are also lots of crystals that you can work with for self-esteem. I have got some here. I'm going to whiz through them because I'm very conscious that I could be talking about this all morning. Kay says there are plenty of different reds so everyone can find their colour. Yeah, it doesn't have to be red either. Whatever makes you feel more self-confident and more fantastic. Again, if it's black that does it for you, then that's absolutely fine. But some crystals, you can carry these with you. You can use them in spell work. You can meditate with them, pop one in your pocket, hold it in your hand, all sorts of uses for crystals, but lots of different ones here. So carnelian brings a huge boost of confidence, but also harmony. Then we've got citrine, which is not showing up under the light. I will sort out the lighting for next week. This boosts self-confidence and your personal power. Fuchsite, which is quite a dodgy one to say. You have to think about that one before you say it. I've only got a tiny little piece. It's quite shiny. This is a rough piece. It's a stone of happiness and joy, and it allows you to live life with a positive outlook. Crystals in your bra, says Emma. Yeah, I've never actually been able to work that one. It's quite uncomfortable for me. I think we've had this conversation before. Someone needs to design a bra that's actually got a little crystal pocket in it. I think that would be brilliant. Maria uses Even Skin. Oh, I can absolutely recommend that. It does work very well. That's from Etsy. There is a review on my blog. Even Skin, it's called. It is very good. Christine's self-esteem went higher when I stopped worrying about what other people thought about me. But that's, yes, I think that comes with age and experience. Maria's laughing. Try asking for Fuchsite. Yes, excuse me. I'd like some Fuchsite, please. The next one is Hematite. It's very grounding, but it brings clarity and support. But you have to connect with these crystals yourself. It's no good me telling you about all of these if you don't connect with it. Hematite, brilliant for grounding, clarity, support. I can't work with it. It makes me feel too heavy and it brings me down. So you have to pick the one that's right for you. Got our orange calcite here. Can't see that at all with the light. Self-love stone. Brilliant for self-love, bringing acceptance, and it brings a positive zing of self-worth. So that one is really, really good for self-esteem. Moonstone, which is my famous, looks like a piece of cold fish, helps reduce fears and it brings you self-confidence. Moss agate is one that works to open your heart. So it works with your heart chakra and it opens you up to confidence. Opal, and I have got the tiniest piece of opal here, which you probably won't even be able to see on the screen. It is teeny tiny because obviously opal's quite expensive, but that works really well. It transforms your negative energies into positive and it helps you realize your full potential. So it's actually very good if you can afford it. Rhodochrosite is the next one. And that's really good. It gives you a positive boost of self-love and helps you realize your full potential. Very similar is Rhodonite. And that brings you balance to your heart and your heart chakra and provides a big boost of confidence. So self-confidence and self-esteem are both boosted by rose quartz, which I forgot to pick up a piece of. So you'll have to imagine that one. Sodalite helps with thought processes and it brings clarity and the ability to see what's real. So that's quite useful, particularly if you're doing any inner work. And Sunstone. Sunstone will literally help you shine. So lots of different crystals, and I've realised I missed one. Pyrite. Pyrite is brilliant too. It eases frustration and it also helps maintain the physical body. So lots of different options there for crystals, all to help with self-esteem and self-confidence, which I think kind of goes hand in hand. Diane can't work with hematite either. It is quite heavy, but it's very, very grounding, and I think, you know, it's not all the crystals are going to work for everybody. Debbie pins a little net bag in her bra with crystals in. Brilliant idea. Tess says, where did you get your water flask from with the crystal in the middle? I like that one. Bee water. Bewater. Not cheap, but very, very well made. Very well made. The only water bottles I've ever had that don't leak. Emma attaches it with a safety pin if it has a hole through it. Yep. Maria loves Moonstone. Yep, it's a good one. Lani loves Orange Calcite. Orange Calcite is a really, really good one for self-love and self-worth. Absolutely brilliant. Jackie wore rainbow moonstone on her wedding day, had them incorporated into her tiara. Brilliant. Kay loves Rhodochrosite and Rhodonite. Yep, both very good. Eva uses fire opals for earrings for confidence. Need to carry grounding mineral as well, otherwise I get headaches. Christine has a Rhodonite palm stone I love to hold. The palm stones are brilliant, particularly for meditating with. Maria uses soda light to have a sleep. Eva's just noticed my shirt. Yes, Grimm. Big Grimm fan. Kay suggesting place the stones of your choice under the bed. Not the stimulating ones, no. Most of the ones I've dealt with today for self-esteem are stimulating, so not really very good for sleeping with, but really good for carrying with you to boost you through the day. Gemma says, how do you discover what crystals do? A lot of it is connecting with the crystal. I've given suggestions here for how I think they work and for how they traditionally work, but they're not going to be the same for everyone. You have to work with them yourself and trust your intuition to work with the ones that are right for you. Yes, Maria's given her daughter a hematite heart pendant to help her ground. Absolutely. Oh, there's a link for the bee water bottles in the comments there. So crystals are really good too. Meditation's good for self-esteem. There is one in the book. But let's have a quick look at a spell to boost your self-esteem. This is about realizing how fantastic you really are. Take this spell work slowly and work through it with baby steps. Start small. Just one positive is a good starting point to build on. I'm not expecting you to work the spell and go, I'm just fabulous, and that's it. You might, I don't know. But it's particularly self-esteem where we may have been beaten down by ourselves or by others. It might take you some time to build your self-esteem up, so start small. Every single tiny step is a positive. Every single baby step in the right direction is a positive. Try not to beat yourself up. Debbie has had a calling for malachite all week. Go with it. I love malachite. Christine says hematite is great for study. Good for kids. Sylvie, at the crystal market, my daughter attracted to lapis lazuli. Beautiful stone, beautiful stone. And each one will have lots of different meanings, and it's up to you to connect with them. So let's have a look at this spell. You need a candle. Purple works well, yellow works well, white if you've got nothing else, or go with a colour that resonates with you. It has to shout self-esteem to you. I go with yellow for self-esteem because to me that's a confident, happy, positive colour, but go with what works for you. You'll also need an essential oil. Any of the citrus scents are really good. I've got lime here. It could be lemon. It could be grapefruit. It could be orange. Something that makes you feel happy and uplifting. Rose or geranium, both really good. Something that makes you smile. You will also need a base oil to dilute with because you're going to be anointing with it. Almond oil is quite traditional to use, but if all you've got is olive oil or sunflower oil, I generally have rapeseed oil. All of those are really, really good to use as a base oil. You just need to make sure that you dilute the essential oil because some of them can irritate the skin. Teresa says, I can't remember half my crystal's properties, but if I want one for self-esteem, I go to my collection and one will jump out. It's always relevant when I research it later. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. That's my whole ethos of working with anything, whether it is crystals, herbs, or anything else. You have to trust your intuition and what's going to work with you. Maria loves geranium. Yes, one of my favourites, Maria. And bergamot for Christine. Yeah, that's the nice orangey one. That's lovely. You'll also need a piece of paper and a pen and the largest mirror you have. And I know some of you are going, oh, I don't want to look in the mirror. It's part of it. And you have to be really brave. Matches and a lighter to light your candle. So I haven't got a mirror here because I'm looking at a picture of myself on my computer screen. So, it's already there. Good morning, Martina. So you need to put the mirror in front of you. You need to light your candle and place that in front of the mirror. Make sure it's in a proper candle holder and on a flat, safe surface. Got a very nice little pentacle holder here from Freya's Cauldron. Then you need to sit so that you can see your reflection in the mirror. You take the paper and pen and you start to write down all of the good things about yourself. And I know you're going, oh, there aren't any. Think about it. Think about what you like about your looks. You might like the colour of your eyes. You might like your hair. Even the length of your fingernails. It can be something really, really tiny that you have good ankles or anything, even if it's minute. You might like your earlobes. I don't know. There are obviously all pieces of our body that we don't like, but let's forget those and focus on the good stuff. You also can write down the good deeds or the nice things you've done for others, holding the door open for the person behind you in the coffee shop. Anything small. You might have taken your neighbour's bin in for them. This isn't just about looks. This isn't just about the outside facade. This is about what you are as a person and the acts and the things that you do as a person, because all those things inside and all those actions and those words are part of what makes your self-esteem good. So don't just write down the outside things. Write down your inside things and your actions. However small, it doesn't matter. Make note of the good qualities and the skills you possess. Are you a good listener? Do you take care of your pets? Can you cook a delicious pie or bake a nice cake? It doesn't have to be grand statements. Even the simplest of positive things are all really, really important. Take your time with this and really focus on each one. If you struggle, maybe ask a trusted friend or a family member to help you create your list. Your friends and family will be really, really happy to help you point out the positives of your personality. But it doesn't have to be an enormous list. I mean, I'm not talking about writing reams and reams of stuff. Even 1 or 2 positives are really good to start with. Use the list as your inspiration, and it will be a board for you to write affirmations that you can use later. So from that list, you can then write affirmations about it. But when you're ready, take your essential oil mixed with your base oil and anoint your pulse points. So literally just put a bit in your finger, and you want to anoint your forehead, sides of your neck, and your wrists. Then you want to look in the mirror. Look directly at your reflection. And then you need to say something. And a poet I am not, but my suggestion is, I came from the earth, made by the divine. I am beauty, I am love, I am confidence and courageous light. So it doesn't have to rhyme, doesn't have to be Shakespeare. My poetry is more Spot the Dog than Shakespeare. Let's face it, my writing's more Spot the Dog than Shakespeare. But it has to be important to you, and it has to have meaning. So then you allow the candle to burn out safely. Don't leave it unattended. Horrible things happen, speaking from experience. Keep the paper with your positive thoughts and affirmations under your pillow. Read through at least one of them every day before you go to sleep, and read another one when you wake up. So you end the day with a positive and you start the day with a positive. And as you think of more positive things, add them to your list. If someone compliments you throughout the day, then add that comment too. So you build yourself a nice list of positive comments and positive affirmations about yourself. And that is a really good starting point to build your self-esteem from. And if you need to do the whole process again, then do it again. Very, very simple. The candle with the color that you associate with self-esteem. You can make a special anointing oil just to boost your self-esteem. Work with that citrusy ones or the ones that make you feel uplifted, and keep it just as your self-esteem oil. And you can anoint yourself every morning before you go out as you say your affirmation. So really, really about building a list of positives about yourself. Lizzie loves patchouli and ylang ylang. Patchouli is one of my favourites too. Christine's very good at buying cakes, not so good at making them. Doesn't matter. That's a positive. If you're good at choosing the right cake to buy, Christine, then that's an absolute positive. And that's what I mean. It doesn't have to be anything really grand or huge. Just start with small things and gain the support from your friends and your family. Ask them to give you some positives to work with. Good morning, Nettie. Maria says, I ain't dead. Yes, that is a positive. And especially at the moment, that's a very big positive. Martina loves this. Brilliant. It's really, really simple. And I know that it's not easy. Trust me, I know it's not easy. As someone who has put their head above the parapet, I do get shot at these days. It happens. Particularly like me, if you've got books out there, there are book reviews, and some of them loads of them are good. Thank you so much. Some of them are bad. You're never, ever going to please everybody all the time. Everyone has their own ideas, their own opinions. And if you try and please everyone all the time, then you are going to come a cropper. You have to start with yourself and self-care. Teresa, I think I'm going to do this at the new moons, where self-esteem grows with her. That is absolutely perfect. And we've got a new moon Sunday, isn't it? New moon Sunday. So absolutely brilliant. I will post this on my Pathos blog, so you've got the information there to work with. But it is a brilliant time to start. The book also has a ritual to work with, but you can work out your own ritual if you want to. Maria suggests buying those roller bottles. Make your own self-esteem affirmation oil and use it every day. Absolutely. And it is really, really easy to do. If you're not very good at mixing oils yourself, do have a look on Etsy. There are some really, really talented people making their own oils. And I'm sure there is a self-esteem perfume out there. I would also suggest... Teresa says it's easier just to please yourself. Teresa, that's where it has to start. Absolutely where it has to start. It has to start with you. Kay says the old saying is true. Know thyself and be true unto thyself. Yeah, it has to start here. If you don't love yourself, then it's going to be very difficult for others to love you. But I also suggest making a bundle. I know it's not a very attractive word. If you've watched any of my talks before and seen my spirit medicine wrap that I work with, it's a similar thing. Or a spell pouch. All you need is a piece of fabric, pattern, a colour that makes you feel confident, or one of the drawstring pouches. Pick a colour that makes you feel self-confidence and self-esteem. Martina makes crystal-infused aromatherapy roll-ons. Perfect. Your self-esteem bundle can be filled with anything that you feel drawn to. I wouldn't put fresh food in it or fresh herbs because they'll go mouldy, but add crystals, dried herbs, seeds, dried leaves, twigs, flat dried flower petals, small tokens, beads, buttons, coins. Trust your intuition about the objects that you could put in it. Sit quietly and meditate to decide which things to add to your pouch. Reach out to deity, perhaps one like Aphrodite who works with self-love. Ask them what needs to go in it. Might only be one or two items at first, but go with it. It'll be added to over time. And each item is representative of your journey to build your confidence, your courage, and your self-esteem. Each item can be charged individually before you pop it into the pouch. Visualize that positive energy entering it. And the bundle's really about self-love. So its job is to remind you that you're amazing. The bag needs to contain things that lift your spirits and make you feel happy. So items that make you feel good about yourself, perhaps a badge that you won for an achievement, even if it's just your cycling proficiency badge from when you were 9. It doesn't matter, it's all an achievement. Put photos of yourself, photo of yourself that you really love or really like, even if it's just your smile that you like in the picture. That's a brilliant starting point for self-esteem, and that can go in the pouch. Brightly coloured items, even things like small coloured buttons, incorporates colour magic. A small mirror, it's good to pop in there to remind you that you look good and feel good. And then dried flowers and herbs that bring sunshine and confidence. You can keep the bundle on your altar or beside your bed. You can use it for meditating. You can use it to take out if you need that boost of self-esteem. Just draw upon the energy that you've charged your bag with. Process of boosting your self-esteem can take time. Don't rush it. Every tiny step, no matter how small, is a step forward. Remember that you're wonderful just the way you are. You really are. And if you find yourself struggling with low self-esteem, refer back to this chat for magical suggestions and ideas, or lean on your friends and family because they're all there for you. Christine says, I need to rest my throat and stop shouting at Pete and the kids and tell Eric to behave. I don't shout very often, Christine. I really don't, but thank you. I am feeling all right. It's just my voice that's a bit iffy. Alani, I love myself by having cake. Lani, this is why you are one of my friends. Cake's always good. Emma's giving a shout out to Tarn and Moon, who sell teas and oils, which are amazing, and the Magic Emporium. There are lots and lots of really good places. Teresa likes the idea of the self-esteem bundle. It's very nurturing. Yes, absolutely. And you personalize it to you and with your own energy. Kay makes crystal water and oil sprays. The full moon is great to make the water as well. And I also, new moon water will be brilliant for boosting your self-esteem as well. Aura room sprays, brilliant as well. You can use body mist sprays as well. Distilled water and drops of essential oil. Absolutely brilliant just to spray to fill the air with positive energy. Teresa's worked with Inanna for self-esteem and confidence. Yes, because she's a dark goddess, so she works on your shadow side. She works on your inner work. Lizzie says, can you have more than one bundle on the go? For example, one for self-esteem and another for health. Absolutely, Lizzie. You could have a whole shelf of bundles. Absolutely. Yes, you can. Because I think they all complement each other as well. Because self-care and health is a grounding point. You're not going to be able to help others if you are exhausted yourself. So definitely one for health runs hand in hand with self-esteem. Kay says her hubby would tell her how beautiful I look when I'm personally feeling shabby, but it's taught me he sees me differently to how I see myself. A good lesson to self too. Oh, I think we are our own hardest critics. And if you do have someone that you love that will tell you that they love you and you look beautiful, she looks at her husband because he's a superstar for that. Yeah, absolutely. And I think we need to build each other up as well. I have been known to stop strangers in the street and tell them that I love their hat or their handbag, or tell them how fabulous they look today, because we all deserve to have compliments every now and then. Or, it's just one of those things. We've got to be kind to each other and build each other's self-esteem as well. So that was it. And that is Curative Magic, and that is self-esteem. I will do a menopause one, probably January. I've got quite a lot of stuff going on in November, and I'm being very self-care and not doing too much in December. So I will do a menopause, perimenopause chat in January, definitely. Lots going on this month. We have a Waffling Witches chat on Sunday. We've got an online Kitchen Witch ritual in December. I've got my tarot course still running for those that are signed up for it. We've got a student-only chat as well coming up in November. Lots and lots happening. The Wednesday evening Moon Books talk still going on. My fortnightly chat with fellow author Ellen Cynthia every fortnight. That's next Thursday. So lots of stuff still going on. Do have a look at the events tab on my website for all the details, or on the various Facebook pages. But remember, this is baby steps. You don't have to deal with it all in one go. Every tiny step, no matter how small, is a step forward. And lean on your friends and family for encouragement and support. And if you struggle with working through any of this, do give me a message. I'm always happy to help and support. Teresa says people look at me weird when I compliment them in the street. Yeah, they do, but it makes you feel good as well as making them feel good. So, we've got to support each other. And I think the more that we compliment and say things to strangers, carefully, obviously. I'm very, very wary of strangers too if you're on your own and it's a dark alley. Yeah, we've got to build each other up, haven't you? You have... Okay, my ex was an expert in helping people like that. He once asked a woman to stand who was filling the shelves and looked down. When she stood, he said, "There you go, you're healed." I think she was so surprised she laughed. Yeah, laughter. Laughter is a big, big healer. It's a real big boost of energy. So let's build each other up. Let's support each other up with this. Maria says, rest your voice. Yes, I've got another live tomorrow evening and I've got another live on Sunday, so I won't be doing much talking for the rest of today. What do you mean, hurrah? Yes, you've got to support yourself, and then we've got to support each other. We are in this together, but we are all fabulous, and I think it is about starting small and building on it. But we have the toolkits to do this. We're witches, we're spiritual people. We have magical toolkits from which to draw upon. So let's use them. So I've gone over time again. I am going to have to start extending these to entire mornings, I think. Thank you so much, as always, you guys, for your support, your continued support. Sue says there hasn't been much laughter this year. No, Sue, not generally, but I think we're all in this together. We might all be in our own little boats, but we're all in the same stormy seas. So we have to support each other and bring as much laughter and positive energy as we can. Thank you, guys, as always. Thank you. If you want a good laugh, Waffling Witches this Sunday, 4 p.m. in the Kitchen Witch Facebook group. We always have a lot of laugh then to build each other up. And I will be back next week, as always, with something else, another subject. If anybody wants me to talk about anything else, do give me a prompt and I will see what I can do. Jackie loves these chats, is introducing me slowly and I'm loving it. You're very, very welcome. Thank you so much, guys. I'm feeling fine. It's just my voice is a bit wonky, that's all. So thank you so much. Details will be posted on the Pathos Pagan blog later on today. Have a fantastic weekend. Don't forget that you are all fabulous in your own ways. You just need to take those little steps and support each other. So have a fantastic weekend, everybody. Thank you so much again, and I will see you again soon.